What up, though? Hey, welcome to Free for All Fridays right here on Detroit Lions on the Pride. You know how the song goes. It's Friday, then hey, it's Saturday, Sunday. What? It is Free for All Friday. We got Lions, Giants game preview. Gonna have some fun, answer the questions, get you caught up on all the news and notes around the Detroit Lions. But I gotta bring in the panel. First up, y'all know who it is, man. Queen of the Proud, Miss Valerie Bordeaux. What's going on, Queen? Have you recovered from the live stream from Sunday?
I done fell out, man. If it wasn't for you, I would have been just like sleeping for the next hour on that show.
Yeah, man. Hey, I had a good time on Sunday. Just say that. All right, man. Now we got my man. He's in the building over from Chat Sports and LNU. My man, Mike, Big Mike Kimber. How's it going, Mike?
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm excited to talk some Detroit Lions, and it's positive, man. Could we get a 3-week game winning streak? Let's see.
Woo-wee. And y'all know who it is, man. Mr. Jason Statham Jr. It's my man Anthony from Royal Lions UK. What's going on, Anthony?
Hey, Curt. Hey, everyone on the panel. Yeah, great week this is. 2 wins in a row. I have lost 20 pounds this week, so I've been swimming through bear's tears all week. Life is good. So I'm having a lot of fun here. A lot of fun.
I love that. I love that.
Gear on this.
Man, through the bear's tears, I was liking that because they were salty. Man, I mean, even Justin Fields, that will never happen in my career again. Yes, it will. You play for the Bears. It would absolutely happen again.
It happened.
I love you, Justin, but you're with the Bears, honey.
Yeah, we're speaking from experience. We know how that stuff goes
out. It's going to happen when you come to Ford Field.
Man, hey, you know how it goes down. So, hey, let's get into some content right quick. First question up, because we're not used to being here. So let's ask the question. Do you think the Lions are turning the corner, or did they just beat bad teams? First up, we got Mike, man. What you got? Are the Lions turning the corner, or did they just beat bad teams the last 2 weeks?
I think they're turning a little bit of a corner. Now, I do think it's obviously going against bad teams. It does help. But if you watch the game, you see the defense now twice in a row. They stopped both quarterbacks in the last drive of the game, making big plays. That's something that we have missed in a long time, is players making plays. You have Aiden Hutchinson disrupting for the pick six. You have Okudah. You have the sacks happening at big moments. Look, the NFL is all about the 1 or 2 plays that can change a game.
Yeah.
And we're making those plays. And that's how you change a corner. You know, how many times have we lost a 1-score game, or it was 1 play here, 1 play there? Last 2 weeks, we've made those plays. So that's how you change. And I'm not going to say that, we're going to go out and win every game or anything like that, but players are starting to believe.
Right. I feel you on that one. Had a ringside seat. I don't know how you of the game you remember, Val.
I remember everything up until like when it went 31-30, and then I fell out after that.
So what do you think? Are the Lions turning the corner, or did they just beat 2 bad teams? Because we know what happened last night in Lambeau Field. Oh, excuse me. Happy Friday, the Packers lost. But
that's a great thing, by the way.
Are the Lions turning the corner, or they just take advantage of 2 bad teams?
For me, I'm going to say it's a mixture of both.
Okay.
Because number one, you've got a lot of the players coming back off of injuries. They're starting to gel together as a team. There's been a lot of things that have gone wrong for them that they're kind of jumping back out of. Number 2, you've got the Packers. I mean, they're an episode of Desperate Housewives, and the Bears. They just tore up the hell. They just killed their monsters of the Midway, buried them, put them in the dust, and died. It's done and gone. So they're in the middle of a teardown, which where the Lions were last year. So yeah, so those were bad teams, as how they stand right now. So it's a mixture of both for me.
Hey, welcome to the panel, Maniac Tim. The Maniac's in the building. Yes. Man, I know you're happy today. I know he's happy today. Welcome to the panel. I'll get back to you in a second. Anthony, let me know, man. Are the Lions turning that corner, or did they just beat some bad teams? Combination of both. What do you think?
I think it's genuinely this team is beginning to turn the corner, and I think it's really disrespectful to all our young players on this team to say we're beating bad sides. I mean, the Chicago Bears, for all the tap I've given them, they are not as bad as we thought they'd be this year. They are a lot better than I think we thought they'd be this year, especially on offense. Justin Fields has been pretty damn good, but our young guys have stepped up. They're making plays. They're working together as one. You saw the defensive line creating pressure, which causes turnovers for the secondary. You saw the secondary, really locking down the field, giving the defensive line chance to get to the quarterback and sack him. You're starting to see a unity in this team, and that comes with winning games, having self-confidence, having belief in yourself. I mean, it's still hard to beat the Packers, even a bad Packers team. It's still hard to beat them. The Bears at Soldier Field, I mean, they've owned us the last few years. We've not won against them for some time, and now we've eventually got one over on them. And that's because our young players are standing up and being countered. And, Dan Campbell is starting to turn a corner. He took the field goal early in this game, got some points on the board, got rewards for his drives. That won us the game. Dan Campbell last year would have gone for that. And if we not got it, we'd have lost this game by one score, and we'd be sat here lamenting the same old problems. So I'm seeing a bit more from coaching. I'm seeing a bit more from the players. It's early days, but they've turned a corner for sure, and we have not beaten bad teams.
Yeah, I don't know what to do on my hands after 2 wins. All right, back-to-back wins. Oh, hey man, welcome to the panel, Maniac Tim. Got to ask you the question before but welcome to the show. If y'all don't know who Maniac Tim is, man, he is a vital part of Detroit Lions on the Prowl because he is the co-founder. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy and Timmy, the original Lions on the Prowl, man. I remember that theme song because I wanted to know who the hell these guys were with this crazy ass theme song. It didn't fit the two guys that were on the show, but it was a good theme.
Somebody actually did. One of Jim's friends actually created that song for them. Yeah.
Yeah, and the story behind it, because it was more of a football song than a football song.
And the only reason we don't use it anymore is because most of the players mentioned in the song aren't here anymore.
Yeah, there aren't any here anymore. But Maniac Tim, man. Okay. Because you went Maniac last week. You predicted the win, and we got the win, the 1-point win. But he is Nostradamus because he picked a 1 point. He said a 1-point win for the Lions. He rubbed the crystal ball, man, and he got this thing done. Now, here's the question. Do you think the Lions are turning a corner? Or did they just beat 2 bad teams?
Well, to take a phrase from Anthony, it's like he was saying a couple weeks ago, where the young players are playing with emotion and confidence. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is something we expected them to play like this at the opening game, to come out playing like this all the time. They were playing competitive up until all but for a couple games. But damn it, they're finally turning that corner. They're doing what the Giants were getting credit for doing at the beginning of the year. They're turning losses into victories. They're coming up with those like 1-point game wins and stuff like that. Also, they're stopping the quarterbacks who have a chance to win at the end of the game. Okay. So that defense is a rising high, baby. It's just rising high. And unfortunately, yes, I did predict a 1-point game, but that was against the Packers. I just was a week off.
yeah. Man, you know what?
It's great to see them where they're, and growth. We have seen where Dan Campbell has took a step in growing up and just saying, I'm not always going to go ahead and, go for it on fourth. You got to play the percentages too. You got to be smart when you go for it on fourth. When it's your only option, or when it's going to really, really make that, make you go farther instead of going ahead and giving it to the other team a lot quicker and a lot closer to the goal line.
Right.
I mean, I like that Patriots loss. It wasn't the Patriots loss wasn't all Dan Campbell, but the reason we got shut out, why we didn't score no points, that was all Dan Campbell. Yeah, because we could have had field goals.
Right.
So it's just showing the progress that we're finally seeing now. Mm-hmm. That we can beat the Giants. We got to go in there with the faith that we can beat them. And I'm talking about that player, because if you go ahead and you have that in the back of your mind that something's going to come up and you're going to lose that game, then you know what? You might, the players themselves might create that something comes up. There's that little bit of worry. But if you're playing with that confidence, that belief, and also executing, which they've been doing, and then that victory is yours. So hey, let's make a fourth win. And I'm sure glad those Packers lost.
Yeah, man. Happy Friday. The Packers lost. That's the theme of the show.
Great.
Hey, it's going to be an ongoing saying for the rest of the show today. Happy Friday. The Packers lost. Ding dong, the witch is gone. For me, I think I believe it's a combination of both, but I like what you guys are saying about the confidence of the young players, right? And the confidence of that they're growing with this defense, like with the young players that's on all over this roster. They're gaining confidence. One thing that I say that they should have done, and they did do it, is use Amon-Ra St. Brown in different facets of the offense, not just, in the passing game, run them out of the backfield, some of those jet sweeps, those things. That's where he succeeds. He excels at that stuff. And it's hard to get the guy down. I mean, the guy's built like a freaking Mack truck, and he's a 6 foot wide receiver. He's the same size as Jamar Chase. I don't know how people think that Jamar Chase is so much bigger than Amon-Ra St. Brown. They're exactly the same size. But Amon-Ra St. Brown is freaking, that guy takes off his shirt. He's ripped. He's a little pit bull. That guy, he reminds me of those real physical Hines Ward type of receivers, Steve Smith, that are really physical, maybe a little bit smaller, shorter, but they can actually punish you. Like he punishes guys out there when he's running the ball. So I like what he's doing. I like the way that Ben Johnson integrated and put him into the offense and really got him going. He has 6 catches in in the first half. They were using him as an integral part of that offense. Now here's the deal. Confidence, and we talked about this. You talked about this, Tim. One person that got confidence, and I'm glad that they started using him, is actually Badgley, the kicker. They started using him. The guy hasn't missed.
Right.
100.
Exactly.
The guy hasn't missed an extra point, and he hasn't missed a field goal.
Yep.
Use him. You got him on the roster for a reason. You signed him to the roster for a reason, and that was really a telling sign. Like, they didn't trust him in the Patriots game. That was his first really game on the roster, and they had all the kicking woes before that. But use the guy. The guy, you got him on the roster for a reason. The kickers are people to use the guy. I mean, you're paying him for a reason. So, but shout out to Michael Badgley, man. He's doing his thing, man. And happy Friday, the Packers lost. All right, so let's get into the chat now. Let's see what they have to say in the chat. Let's say good morning to everybody. We haven't talked to say good morning.
Oh
to the chat
man, we got like a lot of people in the chat, but I'm going to go into some of the comments here where maybe if I can get to them because it's been a minute of what we were talking about with this first question. So Joseph Wilson says the players never quit on the team. Some of the fans did, though.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. We got some crazy fans right now. Tornado, I think the Lions are showing signs of future hope, but we did this last year too.
Now, I think we're starting a little sooner this year. Last year was at the end of the season.
Yeah, last year was the end of the season. This year's the middle of the season. Earlier.
Yeah, a little earlier.
And it's a different feel. It's a different feel. Like we won last year with the Minnesota Vikings game on the last play. That was different last week and the week before. Yeah. It was, okay, you got to do a drive. Who was that worried? I was not worried in this last drive. Last year, it's a whole different story. It's like everything has got to be. I'm sitting there and I'm like, we got this. We got this. And they did. It's a different feel.
And that offense, 91 yards. 91 yards, and they just drove it down the field like it wasn't nothing. Like, let's just go. They just Goff put the team on his back. Hit that Tom Kennedy pass was crucial, and they just put the offense just said, "Let's go win the game. Let's go make a play. Let's go get it." They missed the extra point, and they said, "Let's go down and get this score."
Right. Yeah, Yeah, you've got a top 10 offense. You've got Goff at the helm, and you're making the plays, and you're just trying to build a team and gel it. But you know what? Problem. Let's get rid of him. Bye.
Yeah. But another thing too, divisional or divisional game is usually not. There's not really bad teams within the division because you go ahead and you face each other so much, you know each other so well. So the team may be bad over the NFL, but we have seen the confidence, or we have seen the competitiveness between interdivisional teams. So even though the Bears might have been looked at as being bad in the NFL, and the Packers playing bad right now in the NFL, we all know how Aaron Rodgers hates to lose to the Lions. We all know how Chicago hates to lose to the Lions. So they play that much better against us.
Okay.
Yeah, well, the NFC North loves to play smash mouth football.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, right. So we love to just go out there and try to kill each other just for the shits and giggles of it. But I seem to remember somebody saying something about someone Ohio State quarterback will never be able to do anything in the league. But anyway.
That's me. That's me. I would say I say it all the time. I'm not a fan of, and he still can't pass the damn ball, but he's running it good. And
he got no wide receiver to pass the ball to.
Yeah, maybe he can throw it to himself. I don't know.
He's running the ball.
But Anthony, what do you think about this? About the Lions showing hope this season? I think it's different.
It is different, and for one, the team's getting much healthier. We've been dogged by injuries for so long now, but we're getting players back. Jerry's back. Pascal's back and playing. Mitchell's back and playing. This is kind of, we're seeing where this team's going now. We've had to wait a bit because, Brad Holmes, he will draft his players he believes is right, whether they're injured or not. And we've kind of had to wait for a little bit of a payoff for it. A lot of fans are kind of instant gratification types to see Sauce Gardner, and they're like, man, why can't we have that? Well, it's like, just wait. Just be patient. The plan will come together, and you're seeing how this team was wanted to be built from the start. You're starting to see the trenches be a lot more authoritative. Now that you've got Pascal in and Hutch ain't on his own, you've got Julian starting to, he's healthy and he's playing well. You've got depth there. Your trenches are starting to win your games. And this is how the team was always meant to be built. It's just we've never really had all these guys together at once. But now you're seeing the culmination of the team building so far. So I do believe it is different. And like I say, so many young guys on here learning to win games. It's big. I have no faith against the Packers that they will be able to hold it out, but they did. And then, as Mike said last week, I really didn't have much fear going into last round. I thought there's just something different. There's a swagger about them. They're standing up for one another. They're showing fight, and that's what you want out of your youngsters. Even Will Harris turned around and started talking smack to the Chicago crowd.
I saw that.
Love. And that's what this young team has lacked. It's just belief. You've got to believe that you can win games in the NFL. You've got to believe that you can win on any given Sunday. And, when that comes along, you start to believe in your coaches a bit more. The coaches start to believe in themselves. The players start to believe in themselves. That cohesiveness comes together. And that's what happens when you're building a young team through the draft with very little established talent. You are going to have these highs and lows. But eventually, you should start seeing the process come together. And that's what we're seeing now. A load of very talented young players who are starting to play with authority, with leadership, and who are looking better in games. So I do believe it is a lot different this time. And I say we're starting to shake off the past of contrition now. The cap situation is monumentally better than it was before. We've got a lot of those horrible, dirty contracts off the bill. So we can start going a bit more in free agency. We can start being a bit more balanced with this team, not just sticking tons of youth in there. We can get experience and good experience in as well. So, yeah, I truly believe it is different this year.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
Wait. So Michael Hawk has a question in relation to this.
Okay, go ahead, Michael.
Talking about the hope for the future. Say we win on Sunday, we move into second place in the division, but do we become a contender to make the playoffs?
If we win the game Sunday, we automatically become, and we move up in the hunt. If you look at the standings around the NFC, you have a lot of teams that are right at 500 or just below 500 in the hunt to make the playoffs. You have a whole division that's 500 or like right at 500 or below. That's the NFC South. You have most of the NFC West that are, you have one team that's right above 500 and right at 500. So you have a lot of teams The issue is going to be how the NFC East shakes out, because you can look at that where everyone has a winning record but sub one team, which they're at 500. So, and we hold a tiebreaker with the Commanders because we beat them head to head. So that, I think we win and we keep winning, that automatically puts us in contention to make the playoffs. I believe that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't. Okay, if you keep winning, yeah, you could become a contender to make the playoffs. But will you? That's the
will you is this baby steps. But I'm saying if that puts us in the position to become a contender if we win on Sunday, that it does, because it puts us in second place, and we start having when we get in the head-to-head tiebreakers with people that are in that kind of in that same position. That's what I'm saying.
But wouldn't that win also contend on Packers losing as well? Or
yeah,
no?
The Packers lost. The Packers lost. So yeah, that puts us in second place. Yeah, they already lost.
Wait a
minute. Hold on. Hey, happy Friday. The Packers lost. All right, let's the next question. How will the players returning from injury help the Lions down the back half of the season? Because if you didn't know, we're gonna give you some news if you didn't know. Because you got Josh Reynolds came back yesterday. You got the clock started on DJ Chark. He's coming back. So Dan Spanos, baby Chark, he's coming back too. And lo and behold, somebody stopped the damn presses. Romeo Okwara came back to practice, baby. Oh my God. I didn't think it's a freaking unicorn riding a freaking donkey in Detroit right now, because Romeo Okwara is back on the field. You never thought you would see that, man. I don't know, man. It's like seeing Santa Claus wearing a Yeti costume. I don't know. I mean, you just didn't think you would see that this year. So how would these returning players from injury help the Lions on the back end of the season? Anthony, what you got?
So it helps you in several different ways. So one, obviously, competition for places. The more players coming back from injury, the more competition you've got in the team, the harder players have to fight to keep their spot in there. There's been a lot of positions, let's say, where players haven't really had to scrap for those positions because there's not really much fight there. But with Romeo coming back, which is great for him, in your edge room, Julian's got to step up his game. Austin Bryant's got to step up his game. Charles Harris has to step up his game because he's not been great this year. So, it's, trial by fire with all these guys. Like I say, in the wide receiver room, we need more depth there. It'll give the offense a bit more balance than just having Amon-Ra out there, even though he's been great beforehand. So, first off, it's your competition. And secondly, I mean, for some of these guys like Romeo, I think it's vital the Lions see them this year, because you have big discussions to have about these guys in the offseason. You have to decide whether Romeo Okwara, who is the fourth highest paid cap guy on this roster next year, is worth keeping. So you need to see if he's still got it in the tank, if he can come in and produce. Otherwise, I think you've got to look at the possibility of cutting him. So to get all these guys back, to give them fair game time, it means they can evaluate the team better for next season, rather than just having a load of guys on IR and having no idea what to do with them. So, but first and foremost, it's a competition for the team. It's great to have all these guys back. And like I say, we can see the team, how Brad Holmes wants it to develop. This is the roster he has assembled for a lot of the part. We get to see it finally in action. He gets a fair shot at it.
Okay. What you got, Val, Queen of the Pride? What you got? Well, how these returning players, how can they help the Lions in the back half of the season?
It's going to help tremendously, because right now the Lions are still in this build. They tear down last year. They're starting this build. They got struck with these injuries early, as they typically do. So, but these guys are crucial when you're trying to build some depth and to build a team. You need to have everybody out on the field in order to do anything, especially when you're so strapped like this. So it's not only going to help on the back end of the season to be able to gel together as a team, to form that identity, to build that identity, to build the wins for it. But like Anthony was saying, it also is going to help Brad Holmes in the draft and the free agency and further on be able to determine, okay, a lot of these 1-year contracts and all of these other things, what's going to be the best moves moving forward.
Yeah. Okay. Before I get to the other guys, just for me, the two players that I'm really concentrating on for this week if we can get both of them back, is Josh Reynolds and DJ Chark. That opens up the passing game. We haven't had, guys that can actually stretch the field. But now I will agree with you somewhat, Val. I will agree with you somewhat. But with Josh Reynolds, he has a pretty good catch to target ratio. And because Jared Goff, that's his whoopee. We all know who the whoopee is. The whoopee is Josh Reynolds. He has the most comfortability as far as down the field with Josh Reynolds. He puts the ball where he can catch it. I like the fact that we can able to get him back. Now, the wind may, I don't know how it's going to be a factor, but it's going to be cold. The forecast for Sunday changed. So I will agree with you on this. I don't want him throwing the ball down the field a lot in the Meadowlands. It's going to be 37 degrees. Hand the ball off, short intermediate passes. The little, what do you call that? The little
if you're going to dink and dunk and intermediate, if you're going to leave it to dink and dunk and intermediate, I'm fine with that. But don't be deep passing the ball.
When he gets back into when he gets back in the forward field, here's the deal: the secondary for the Bills they're hurt. Their starters aren't in Buffalo. Their starting defense, as far as their secondary has been tattered with injuries. So I like the fact that we're getting some guys that can stretch the field. And we get back into our stadium on Thanksgiving, we can open the field up. And lo and behold, from what Dan Campbell said, that mini bye after the Thanksgiving game is when Jameson Williams' clock may start to get back in. So
he's been coming back for 5 months. He'll be back in.
That fits the time. He said December. In December,
he said maybe the last couple of games at the end of December is what he said.
No, he did not say what he
said.
He did. But we'll agree to disagree on that one. But I like the fact that we're getting some guys back and helping out. And there's a couple more guys I would like to see come back, but if they're not ready, and we can win without them, keep them on the sidelines. But I like what's going on. Mike, what you got, man?
It opens up.
Really hard not to wear a Bears cap. That's all.
Yeah, I don't want to wear that shit at all.
Amen, Curt. Amen. Just like Packer shit.
Yeah. Hey, Mike. Happy Friday. The Packers lost. What do you got?
Sorry, Mike. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
Always a positive thing.
Yeah.
Romeo Okwara coming back is huge for the defensive line. It gives opportunities for Aiden Hutchinson to have less double teams in which he's getting a lot. And offense has got to account for not just some other guy on opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. That's why we always talk about, man, we would love to get a Will Anderson or somebody else because it really helps and feeds off each other. And I think that will feed off Aiden Hutchinson. Also, just like Anthony said, we got to kind of see what he's got, going into next year too. I want to see what Romeo is going to bring this year because this is an opportunity for us. Do we need to make edge more of a priority in the offseason? So that will help out. With Josh Reynolds coming back, it's his guy. It's Jared Goff's guy. It's his go-to guy, and he trusts him fully. For the offense, that's big, especially on those critical third downs where he's looking for, to get that first down. He does look towards Josh Reynolds quite a bit. And for Jameson Williams, it just opens up the whole offense right there. Defense got to count for him. Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to smile because he's going to have more. It opens everything else for the other weapons around him. And that's so big. We've not had that deep threat. We hoped DJ Chark would be that. He hasn't. But Jameson Williams will be that. That is different. Now, obviously, it's going to be on a play count, a snap count. But still, I cannot wait to see how defenses adjust when he's on that field.
Yeah, that's going to be, woo-wee. Pick your poison like a mug, boy. I tell you. All right, Maniac Tim. On this great Free for All Friday, man, hit me up. Let me know, what do you think about this? How will these returning players help the Lions down the back half of the season?
Well, for one thing, anybody ever tried to play basketball with a sprained ankle or sprained? You don't do as well when you're not at your high peak healthiness. So them coming back is making the team healthier as a whole. So this could go ahead and bring us back to being not the top 10 offense, but the number one, nearing more the number one ranked offense that we were at the beginning of the year. Mm-hmm. Sure, we don't have no TJ Hookinson or whatever the hell his name is. I forgot.
He said Hookerson.
Hookerson.
He's smoking a pipe. He's smoking a pipe.
He
But,
does.
I mean, we don't need Hawkinson. We got players. I mean, and that's one thing too, as far as in building the team that you're building. I mean, there was a time when, different team, but when Anthony Carter went down for the USFL Panthers, that team suffered so much. This is more than one. When you're building a team, it is more than one players. You're being able to win by more. And now we're getting those players back healthy. Heck, this could really open up our offense.
Yeah.
And also, to evaluate who we're going to keep, like Anthony said, and everybody else has said. So this, players giving Hutchinson help and stuff like that. When our defense is getting better already, shoot, it really could be phenomenal for us. And you know what? We just got to release the maniac and the beast and just rip off some damn.
Okay, the maniac is putting it out there, man. Gotta love the maniac, how he gets down, man. You heard it right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors, man. Thank you guys for joining us right here on the channel. Going over, check us out on Lions Nation Unite. If you look at the logo behind us on the overlay, okay, you see that, right? If you buy a shirt like that, it's freaking fake. Because it's on Facebook. Go to LAUshop.com, man, and get the real, not the fake. They don't even sell that damn shirt. So I don't know how the hell they have people put it on Facebook. They don't even sell that shirt in the shop. I don't know where the hell they got that from, but okay. Anyways, but go to LAUshop.com. It's always game day over there. Get yourself some gear. Micro Mike, they have all that stuff over there. He has a ton of that stuff, man. And what the shirt that Val has on is an authentic LNU shirt. So yeah, grab yourself some LNU gear over there at LNUshop.com, man. We appreciate you guys right here on the channel. If you're going to get yourself some Lions gear, it's the holiday season. Buy some gear for your favorite Lions fan or your favorite Bears fan, because we have one on the panel. The link's in the description below. Fanatics.com.
Yeah, your Bears fan is wearing what?
Yeah. So go ahead and grab some gear at Fanatics.com. That link's in the description. And help us grow the content right here on this channel, man. What we got in the comments, Val, before we go to the next question?
Our chat has been more focused on drafting a quarterback.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we're not talking.
They have been having a big discussion.
We're not talking about that. So we're gonna go to the next question, because we're not talking about drafting a quarterback right now.
The most controversial thing of all time.
Oh my God. Matter of fact, Mike, go ahead. I want you to tell what was your big thing this week, because I saw you posted the picture on Twitter. Saying before it dies.
Look, man, there's you got people that love Jared Goff. You got people that hate Jared Goff. You just got average fans. It is okay to agree to disagree. If you like the guy, awesome. Like if you love him, great. If he is like to you the greatest thing, great. But then there's some people that don't, and that's fine. It's okay to agree to disagree. It's one player. Like, it's okay, guys.
Yeah.
It's a game. It's okay to just have fun. And that's what that whole picture was all about.
Yeah, the church, the church of golf.
Let's just have fun, man. The cult of golf. He's become like he's ascended the like, you can't talk bad or you can't talk good, or like,
I will say this. I've talked about this guy all the time. My man, Sheriff Joe Baggs over at Ram Showcase. He said the same thing. The same thing happened in LA when he was a quarterback of the Rams. It's the exact same thing. Like, and it was some people that were freaking like really, really upset when they traded him to the Lions. Like, they were like, it was like sacrilegious blasphemy that they traded Jared Goff to the Lions. They were like, "Oh man, we just got to order Jared Goff with Matthew Stafford." That's what they were
worse
saying.
than Stafford. Like we had Stafford. It's like, what is going on here? What is?
Trust me, that's what's happening with it. It's not just our fan base.
On the Lions fan base, it is a Stafford 2.0 situation. Remember, anybody's better than Stafford. Anybody, end of discussion. We're done.
Yep, okay. That was the, and man, okay, I ain't gonna get on that. But let's go to the next question. All right, where should the Lions attack, or should the Lions offense attack the Giants defense? Where should Ben Johnson concentrate his offense against the Giants defense? I'll go to you first, Maniac Tim. Where should the Lions focus their attack against the Giants?
Okay, well, of course, that was my phone. Of course, go ahead and attack them middle of the field with the dink and dunk passes and stuff like that. Hit them hard with that running game. Just go ahead and hit that line, and and also the dink and dunk, the short passes. Go to your play action.
Okay, all right. What you got, Mike?
This one is clear. You got to run the football. The defense of the Giants is not good at run stuffing. They're 24th in the NFL of 133. We got Jamal Williams. Let's control the clock. This is exactly what the Giants do. They're fundamentally sound football team. They have time of possession. They always win. They're good in turnovers, and they don't shoot themselves in the foot with penalties. So how do we counter that? It's simple. Run the football, negate turnovers, the possibility of turnovers with throwing interceptions, control the clock and the time of possession. That's vital. And win the old school football way, running the football, and that's what the Lions need to do in this bad boy. Go ahead and just stick to it through quarter 1 and 4. We've done it the last 2 games, and the funny thing is we won. So let's keep doing it.
Yeah. What you got, Anthony?
Yeah, it's really the same as Mike there. Run the ball down their throat, turn their own game plan against them. They've got the worst run defense in the league when it comes to yards per carry. They give up 5.4 yards per carry. So, that D-line's not doing well. The linebacker core is really, really bad there. Worse than ours. I mean, so just run the football, get it into second and short situations, third and short. Get the small play action passes going. Put Amon-Ra St. Brown on those linebackers. He'll cook them alive. Keep the ball going down the field. Long, sustained drives like you did against the Chicago Bears. Kept them off the field. Kept the defense safe. You do that against the Giants and you will beat them because they kill you through time of possession. So you've got to flip the script and do the same to them because they can't hang if they lose the time of possession.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Before I get to Val, it's rinse, repeat. You know what I'm saying? Rinse, repeat. Same thing we did last week. You say you dunk the closer and you rinse them in there and you repeat it. You do it till it gets clean and you get the win, baby. That's what I'm talking about. What you got, Val?
I'm with everybody else, and it's something that I say at least 30 times every time I watch a Lions game. Run the damn ball. Run the damn ball. Run the damn ball. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's it.
They did it, and they did it in a creative ways last week, especially with Amon-Ra St. Brown with those little touch passes, where he's kind of, comes in motion and just tap the ball to him. That opens up the run game and the pass game as well because it counts as a pass, but all it is an extended handoff. Screen passes, things of that nature. Get the running game established, and then you can eat up the middle of that field. There, like you said, Anthony, that Giants. That front seven isn't that great. Their strength of their defense is their back end, and they ain't world beaters either. But I would say run the ball, control the clock, and just use Amon-Ra St. Brown just like we did last week, and just get him involved in the offense.
That was
He's
awesome,
a weapon
wasn't
for us.
that?
Yeah,
him as a running back, like they Debo Samuel'd him.
Yep.
I love the play calling last week. That may have been the best that I've seen under Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell.
Yeah, I love it. And I love the way they took the points and they didn't go forward and they relied on the defense. Like that was a critical part point in that game where they punted the ball. Our defense is playing okay. Let's just, even when we didn't panic after the long touchdown run by Justin Fields, we didn't panic and didn't just start doing some stupid stuff with the ball. We just played our game. If you just play your game, you should, you can rely on what you're doing on your offensive side of the ball, especially with the favorable matchups. You can just go ahead and get the W, man. And I think that's what the Lions can do again on Sunday. What you got? Anything besides quarterback talk in the chat?
Al Torres says, stop the trick plays, run the dang ball.
I didn't see any. What trick plays did we have?
There are there's a few of them that they do, but
okay.
Dale, re-sign Jamal. He's stepping up his game weekly while Swift is nursing a hangnail.
Damn.
Out 5 to 10 weeks for an ingrown toenail.
It's
My
about the
man.
truth, though. I'm
Oh,
not
man.
Wow.
And Jeffrey Inglesby, St. Brown reminds me of Golden Tate. I hope not. He's better than him.
I think he's better than Golden Tate. I think he is.
I think he is.
I
And
think
the
he
Golden
is.
Tate was really good. So
Yeah, Golden Tate was
yeah.
good at in Detroit because
For one season.
yeah. Oh no,
even
he was.
in Seattle, he was good.
Yeah,
Jim says his last year he had those alligator arms where he wouldn't really extend them.
You know what though? And first of all, happy Friday. The Packers lost.
Packers suck.
Where's old time to Dave when you need him?
One of the best things that I'm going into this game seeing is that we have Kenny Galladay have to play us. And that was the best free agent signing for the Lions is to let him walk away and sign somewhere else.
And we all knew it. We were like, yeah, this is a good decision to let him walk.
That's the best free agent decision the Lions have ever made is let him go ahead about his business. Hey, bro, we'll holler at you. Deuces. We'll get back with you later on, man.
Who'd we get for his comp? I forget. What player did we get? Was that Derek Barnes?
It may have been. I think so.
We traded up for Barnes, didn't we?
Yeah, we traded up. So I know we used.
It may have been Lee McNeil.
Lee McNeil. Well, that would have been a hell of a trade.
It may have been.
Or that a hell of a move.
It may have been Lee McNeil. It may have been. Either him or Lord knows him or Ozarike because they were that picks were were back to back. So one of those guys was the comp for him. Hey man, Kenny Galladay, man. Hey, if I see you in the street, don't say nothing. All right. That's good.
I got a signed Galladay jersey right there too.
All right. How can AG slow down Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones? That is the big question. See, last week it was just stopping Justin Fields pretty much. How can we stop him? But this week we got two guys that can run the ball effectively. This Daniel Jones can run the ball. He's not a Justin Fields type guy, but he can get on the edge and he can run the ball. Saquon Barkley, ooh, man, I would hate to try to tackle one of his thighs because the freaking tree truck, man. That dude's freaking legs are massive. But how can we slow these two guys down? Mike, what do you think? How can we slow these two guys down?
This is going to be a game I think people that said linebackers don't matter is going to regret it here because Saquon Barkley is a dog. He's the best running back right now in the NFL. And it's not just one player. Like you said, Daniel Jones is mobile as well, and I think that's going to be a problem. So what can we do? Whoever is playing linebacker, I don't know if Malcolm Rodriguez is going to be in this game. Alex Anzalone, obviously. Maybe they do Jared Davis, but they need to be, for us to contain him, they need to be having the best game of the year. It's going to. I love the defensive line, but he's going to get past them. And these guys got to do their job. They got to tackle. If not, it's going to be Hulk Hogan running wild on us. I am very nervous about Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, I think the defensive line needs to set the edge. The outside, the edge run, the edge guys need to set the edge and contain. You're gonna have to because he gets out the gate because he's an effective runner wherever he runs the ball. But when for him and he can break those. It's something about those edges. He can attack the edges and get out the gate like nobody's business. So we need to make sure we do that. Contain the edges. And whoever's playing the outside, outside leverage, make sure you keep him, funnel him back into the inside, man, and back into Lee McNeil, Bugs, and all those guys. So that's my thing.
Maybe even kind of somewhat spy on a Saquon Barkley. Yeah.
And then for Daniel Jones, make him throw the freaking ball because they sucks. Make him throw the ball. Make him throw the ball. Make him throw the ball. All right, what you got, Maniac Tim?
I was gonna say stack that damn line. Make it as hard as they can him to get through that line, and also force them to pass that damn ball because
their wide receiver core is trash.
Right,
wide receiver core is absolutely
quarterback right now over there.
Daniel Jones,
for the Giants,
from Duke.
Okay.
We just gotta stack hit them hard, hit them fast, and hit them quick on that line. Put 8-9 man in that box and just make it do what do what teams used to do when we had Barry Sanders. Just stack that line, get that box real tight, and just take his ass down.
Okay, I feel you on that one. And we have to put discipline in that back end of the secondary because they don't have world beater tight ends, but they have decent tight ends, and that's where Daniel Jones likes to throw the ball. So what do you got, Anthony?
Stop Saquon Barkley. I think you've got to be aggressive against the run. I think I would put most of the pressure through the interior because that Giants interior O-line is trash. I think you have to blitz the linebackers up there, get the gaps covered, be aggressive against the run. Because the one thing we did well against the Bears, we were really aggressive against the run game, and we drew a lot of holding calls against them, and that ruins drives for rush-heavy teams. If you can get those calls, get the 10 yards back, put them in long situations. We did it with the Bears. They shot themselves in the foot a little bit as well, but the indiscipline that led from the aggression we were using, that's what you kind of want to see again this week. But like I say, just keep the edges nice and tight. But for me, I'd go straight through the interior. I'd send everything I have there because it's very weak. Evan Neal ain't going to be playing at right tackle. He's struggling. I'd put my best edge rusher out there and, take on the poor fool who's going to be in their place. And then, I'll trust my secondary to guard that wide receiver unit whilst I send the house elsewhere. That's what I do. I just be uber aggressive against it. And like I say, there are weaknesses to be had. And, if we can contain the Bears for the most part and their run game, I think we can do the same with the Giants as well.
Right. Because the Bears have the number one. I mean, they had the number one rush. I mean, they ran for a lot of yards against us, but it just was. But most of that was.
It was on a couple of plays, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, really.
Two really big plays. And then apart from that, gap discipline was pretty good for the most part.
When you don't have a quarterback that can win you in the last drive, that's where you have a problem. And teams like that, if we can be up on them with 2 minutes left in the game and they got the ball, I'm gonna feel pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's a good thing. If you can get up on them early, put them in a hole. They can't run the ball.
Right.
Then you send that whole dynamic out of it. So be aggressive from the beginning on both sides. Get 14-point lead, then they're in a lot of trouble.
That's a bad spot for them. Yep.
Okay. All right, Val, what you got? How can they slow down these two fellas?
I would just go to the source and quarterback rush and disrupt the quarterback. Okay. If you can't get the ball to him, you can't do nothing with them, right? So,
Okay. I feel you on that. Hey, everyone thank you for checking us out right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Y'all home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. Go check us out on DetroitLionsOnTheProwl.com. Hey, make sure you go and get yourself some Prowl Nation gear over at LionsOnTheProwlShop.com, man. You know how we do it. Hang out with us, man. We thank you for joining us right here on the program. And happy Friday. The Packers lost. All right. I'm telling you, that's going to be the theme for the whole show. What do we got in the chat, Val?
Is Rodrigo coming back this weekend?
Rodrigo was a full participant the last couple of days, so it looks like he's trending towards playing this weekend.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. You quarterback rush that sucker. I mean, disrupt him. Luke G in the building.
Luke G, what up, Luke G?
You stop it with good gap discipline from front seven. This is a game set up for Davis, Barnes, and Alex. Anzalone? Okay. Like Alan.
Anzalone.
Anzalone?
Detroit fan, man, I think it's Barnes' job to slow down Barkley. Yeah.
I would take that. I would take that. Mm-hmm. That's good. Definitely.
Mentioning a lot of linebackers. I wonder.
Yeah, a lot. I think you say linebackers matter in this game. I think you said that.
Tony Blumenscheid. They better not over pursue just because, like Barry, he can cut back, and if you over pursue, he's gone. Stay in your lane and do your job. The problem with that is the reason why Hutch is over pursuing is because he's being double teamed, right? So when he overpowers his strength, he tries to bolt through that and then overshoots. If you can get the double team off of him, he can come off the track a lot without all of that overpower and and be able to get to the quarterback the way he should be.
Man, I tell you what, Hutch, those two plays that he made, and I ain't talking about the sack. The two plays that he made that stood out to me was when he RKO'd Montgomery down there at the goal line, because that was an RKO. He just jumped up and and out there at the goal line.
Randy Orton.
And
does he hear voices in his head too? Maybe now, or I don't know.
Maybe. But
that he does.
but the play where he caused that, he was the reason, one of the causes for the reason for that interception, the pick six. Because when he recognized that Cole Kmet just let him go free, he was like, wait a minute. And that's the second week in a row that he's made a good play in the passing game. First one was the interception against Aaron Rodgers, and then last week with that, it's kind of just stopped and was like, recognize what was going on. That's maturity. That's football. That's high football IQ right there, where he just kind of stopped what he's doing. Wait a minute, something, and to do it at that split second to prevent that screen pass to commit. That was an awesome play by Aiden Hutchinson. I can't say enough about that. That was an awesome play. All right, so we're getting down to the wire. We're looking at the time. Okay, it is time for, you know what time for it is. It's time for the last question of the show. Not wrong one. Here it is. Who wins and what's the score, baby? That's what I'm telling you. It's time for our game predictions right here in Detroit Lions of the Proud. Yo, home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. You know who sets the table for us every week with his outlandish and great, predictions. It's the maniac, Uncle Timmy. Who wins and what's the score, baby?
35-7 Lions.
35-7 Lions. God damn.
Aim high, shoot high.
Damn.
That's all you got, huh?
Hey, that's what they. Woo! Nostradamus himself. All right. My man Jason Statham Jr., man, athlete from Rhode Island, UK. What do you got, man? Who wins and what's the score, my man?
We're going to win 28-17. I think we're going to kick their ass in the trenches, and I don't think they'll be able to deal with it. They're under a lot of pressure to go after that conference now with the Eagles losing. We have nothing to lose. We're a team full of confidence. They didn't look great against the Texans. It's just the fact they're playing the worst team in the NFL at the minute. They got away with it. I think that pressure's going to tell, and I think we're going to win.
I feel you on that. And you look at some of the Giants wins they've had this year.
All by one score.
Yeah, they've been in a lot of close games where they've had their rabbit's foot in their cleats for a while. Maybe it's time for that rabbit's foot to pop out for somebody else. What you got, Mike? Who wins and what's the score, my guy?
It's gonna be a real close game. I got the Lions actually winning this one, 24-23. Very close. Comes down again to a last drive, and could it make it 3 where the Lions stop them defensively? That's what I got here. Unlike Maniac Tim, I'm actually unrealistic. His is more realistic.
35-7.
35-7. I was waiting for like 75-2.
35-7 is that still? That is a wild pick. Because we're gonna get you guys picks in the chat, so we're gonna make sure we go over you guys picks here in a second. All right, Queen of the Proud Val, what you got? Who wins and what's the score?
Well, if you like Timmy, you're gonna love me this week because you know what? Just like it's FTP every single day here at Detroit Lions of the Proud, the Giants are right up there for me. I mean, just biting the Packers' underwear on my hatred. Okay,
she's FTG. FTG.
But there's shit that they do against the Bears. Okay, they don't rub me the wrong way. So it's FTG week, babies, and it's 48-14 Lions.
48 for
holy
man!
I'm
feeling good, man. I got me feeling good in this place, man.
Oh man, I'm not taking over and under.
Wow. The over under is like 45
48
points.
and a half, I thought.
Yeah. I think it was 45 yesterday. I think it went down to 45 yesterday. Let me look at this right.
I'm a bet man, but I ain't a drunken bet man.
Man.
I'd naturally grow a mullet if it was that score.
The over-under is only 45 points.
FTG week.
Okay,
baby.
for me, I picked it yesterday. I said the Lions are going to win. I'm going to keep sticking with my same score, 24-17 Lions. We get that we hold off that last drive to tie the game at the end of the game. We get that last stop, and we get a 7-point victory in the Meadowlands at MetLife Stadium. So that's my prediction for the game. What we got in the chat? What we got?
Okay, we
got some wild
George
predictions.
Eagle 21-17 Detroit.
Okay.
Michael Huck, Giants 24, Detroit 21. Been picking them to lose, and they haven't, so I'm not changing my strategy.
Yeah, it works.
Picking them to lose is helping us win. I'll take it out.
Whatever works, baby. Whatever works. Dan Spanos, I predicted against the Lions the last 2 games, and they won, so 28-24 Giants.
The reverse psychology is best. Oh, man.
Dr. Detroit 34-17 Giants.
That's a big discrepancy. That's not good. Okay.
Al Torrey, Lions 28-14. Hutchinson with another sack.
Okay.
And Dr. Detroit also told me to let that pipe cool off a bit on my score. But anyway.
Yeah, I know.
And Dan Spanos said Val is sipping on the Timmy juice.
Okay.
I sipping on Timmy juices is a whole nother ball game we don't want to talk about right now. Anyway, Tony Blumenstein, 27.
Oh no.
God damn. It's off the rails today, boy. Off the rails in this place.
That just took a really bad turn.
That was a bad turn, man. Off a fucking cliff.
Don't be sending me those comments because you know I'm gonna do something with them.
Oh, man.
Oh my God. That's
Damn it.
man. Sweet. The hell am I at? I don't know what to do with my hands.
Oh, but just do it.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Hey, one thing I do know is Happy Friday. The Packers lost.
Let's change that subject real quick.
Man, let's get off of that right quick. Let's get off of that right quick. All right. So looking at the Mickey, it's about that time, man. It is time for us to start wrapping up the show. All right, my man, Anthony from Royal Alliance UK, my man, Jason Statham Jr., the transporter himself. Give me your final thoughts for today's show.
I don't even know if I can final thought this show now. I think that's a great spot there. Oh God. Yeah, I just have a great weekend, everybody. I hope that, we get the 3rd win in the row. If we do, then, Thanksgiving's going to be fun. So, yeah, just have a good one. And, go Lions.
All right. Maniac Tim. Why am I doing this? Maniac Tim, give me your final thoughts for today's show, my guy.
Okay. One of the things for sure is my picks go by, I'm trying to give the Lions luck. So that's why these are outrageous. All right. But so if you guys bet on my picks, you do it at your own risk.
Oh, I would never, ever. Shit, my wife would kill me. Hell no.
As a team, I just want to say to the Lions, do what it takes to win. And as Nike says, just do it. Go ahead and win the damn game.
That's what I'm talking about, Tim, man. Ooh. Okay, I think the rails is coming back on just a little bit before we get out of here. All right, Mike, what you got, man? Final thoughts for today's show.
Whoever did the joke about sipping on Tim's juice.
Oh, God.
Damn you in the comments.
That's
how I got to end the show.
We was doing better, and you bring this. Hey, here you go. Bring it. Here you go. Go right back.
That's
That's my last words. Right there.
That's the last words right there.
Someone's going to change their name to that now.
So,
Someone's going to change their YouTube handle to that now. So
yeah,
we're going to have to live with this forever. I hope they don't do that. Please don't.
Please don't, man. Don't do that. Don't do that.
No,
Please
no,
don't do
no,
that.
please don't.
YouTube
Please
channel.
don't do that. Please don't do that. If you have to listen, don't do that. Don't do that. Do not change that. No. Okay, Val, real quick, please.
Okay.
Give me
I will bring the train back on the tracks, you all. Okay. Okay. Let's get back on track here. So
Okay.
So my final slug for this week is, of course, FTG. And number 2, I got a little bit to say. So next week we will not be having a free for all Friday. Next Friday, we will be having a tribute, 1-year tribute to Jim on the show. So join us for that. We will have the Line of Slayer Sunday after the game, so check us out then. But I want to give a shout out to a special person who doesn't get much notice on this show, is our editor, Nathan, who right now is working on a special gift to you guys that will appear after Free for All Friday on Saturday on the 1-year anniversary of Jim's death. Him and I have been working on a video for you guys at commemorating his legacy. So make sure to check that out. So come join us, this Sunday. Come join us next Friday, and make sure to check out the video on Saturday, because that is our gift here at Detroit Lions on the Prowl to you.
Thank you so much. Nathan's an amazing guy, man. He does a great job editing the shows together for the recorded shows during the week, from Monday through Thursday, man. Shout out to him, breaking down doing the graphics, breaking down the segments, put them out there differently. We've had some challenges for him in the last couple of weeks, and he's been stepping it up, man. So shout out to him. For me, hey, it's Thanksgiving week, man. Hey, we got the game on Sunday, and then Thanksgiving next week. If you got family, if you're traveling for Thanksgiving, be safe. For all your family members coming in to town, love on them, hug on them, man, and just enjoy each other's company here coming up this week. And thank you all for everything that you do right here on the channel, man. We do all this stuff for you guys. We didn't have this show, this platform without Jim, but Jim and Tim made sure it was just about the fans, and it's all about you guys, and we're part of you, and you guys are part of us. So thank you guys for joining us right here in Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Yo, home for Detroit Lions news and rumors, man. Hey, thank you for hanging out with us right here during your lunch hour. So, if you had something to eat while you was watching this, man, get your napkin, wipe them crumbs off your face, finish your drink, and get back to work. And whatever you're doing in life, you got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For the panel, this is Curt Steele, and we will holler at you real soon. We love you, Jim.